Legendary players: Dimitar Berbatov. Immaculate touch, elegant passing, and a fatal volley. Just how good was Dimitar Berbatov? He netted 251 goals at club level throughout his stellar playing career, and the Iceman also contributed 101 assists. And many of Berbatov's goal contributions were utterly world-class, with his assist for Cristiano Ronaldo against West Ham arguably the greatest in Premier League history. But he didn't become this good overnight. It was a long and arduous process that made him who he was. In his own words, Dimitar Berbatov was destined to become a sportsman. He was born on the 30th of January 1981 in Blagoevgrad, Bulgaria, a country not so famous for football. Sports ran in the family, as father Ivan played football for the Pirin and CSKA Sofia, and mother Margarita was a volleyball player. Berbatov tried out athletics first, but eventually settled for football. He started his playing career with his hometown club Pirin, and, just like his father, he then joined CSKA Sofia in 1998. But that's the end of the likeness between the careers of Berbatov and his father. His father's career came to an abrupt end at the Pirin due to an unfortunate incident, but Berbatov's was just getting started. Did you know that he learned how to speak English through watching the Godfather films? CSKA Sofia. It was here, at CSKA Sofia, that Berbatov got caught up in a rather thrilling turn of events. Due to his amazing performances for the club, naturally, people started noticing him and wanted him to play for their team, even if it meant abducting him. One day he was invited for a ride by one of his father's former teammates. That little ride turned into an alleged abduction, where he was soon sitting in front of a big guy, as Berbatov would later recall, who was surrounded by other big guys. You'd expect the abductors to make some demands for the release of the hostage, or maybe call for a ransom. But this was not an ordinary kidnapping. The big guy was Georgi Ilyev, and he wanted Berbatov to play for his club, Levski Kyustendil. The matter was eventually resolved by the owner of CSKA Sofia, and the big guy didn't have his way. Berbatov won the Bulgarian Cup with CSKA in his first season there, but it was the second season when Berbatov started making a name for himself, scoring 14 goals in 27 league matches. His best performance for CSKA came in the UEFA Cup first qualifying round match, where he scored 5 of the 8 goals in the home win against Konstruktorul Chisinau. Many teams in Europe wanted a piece of his brilliance, but he eventually signed for Bayer Leverkusen in January 2001. That was the end of a successful spell at CSKA Sofia, where he scored a total of 26 goals in 50 appearances. Bayer Leverkusen. Bayer Leverkusen was a star-studded team back then, having some world-class players like Michael Ballack, Oliver Noville, Lucio and Zé Roberto. Not only that, but the manager of the club was also a World Cup winner, a perfect setting for a young Berbatov who only wanted to move forward. In his own words, that was where he became a man. That season, Bayer Leverkusen made it to the final of the UEFA Champions League. Within 18 months, Berbatov was living in a whole different world. He was now sharing the pitch with some of the greatest players in the history of the game, in the likes of Raúl, Zidane, Figo, and Roberto Carlos. He came on as a substitute in the 37th minute. Although Leverkusen lost the match 2-1, it was an experience that Berbatov would cherish throughout his life. On their way to the final, Leverkusen had beaten Manchester United and Liverpool, a feat that was unique in the club's history. Berbatov stayed at Leverkusen for another 4 seasons. In his own words, he was planning to stay there for much longer and repeat what Diego Maradona had done for Napoli. But soon the star-studded squad of Leverkusen was nowhere to be seen, and the dream of accolades was reduced to just that, a dream. However, Berbatov continued to make waves in the football world, and he succeeded in winning the attention of European giants like Bayern Munich. However, it was Spurs that succeeded in convincing Berbatov that it was finally time to move. During his time at Leverkusen, he netted 69 times in 154 appearances. Tottenham Hotspur. White Hart Lane gave Berbatov a very warm welcome. Very soon, he became a key player of the team, scoring and assisting in almost every game. His partnership with Robbie Keane was something to be feared. In his first season for Spurs, he won the Tottenham Hotspur Player of the Season award and also won a place in the PFA Premier League Team of the Year. In his 2 seasons at Tottenham, he scored 27 goals in 70 appearances and won the Carling Cup. Berbatov enjoyed his time at Tottenham, but when Sir Alex Ferguson comes knocking, it's not something that can easily be ignored. Tottenham didn't want to let go of Berbatov, and they accused Sir Alex of sheer arrogance, as he publicly stated his interest in signing the Bulgarian. Berbatov, however, had made his position clear to the club that he wanted to go. Finally, the deal took place on deadline day, while the Man United fans were holding their breath with fingers crossed. Manchester United. According to Berbatov himself, signing for Manchester United was the greatest moment of his life. However, before he even reached Manchester, comparisons were being made between him and Eric Cantona. Berbatov made his debut for United in the Northwest Derby, setting Carlos Tevez up for a goal. Though United lost the match 2-1, it was a great start for Berbatov. From there on, Berbatov didn't look back and continued to score goal after goal. He faced a little bit of criticism for a missed penalty in the 2008-9 FA Cup semi-final against Everton, which United eventually lost, but he came back stronger than ever, and he scored the 5th goal against his former team Tottenham in a crazy game where United was losing 2-0 at half-time but went on to win 5-2. United went on to become the champions of England that season, and Berbatov became the first Bulgarian player to be a part of the Premier League title-winning team. Then came the most iconic performance of Berbatov's career. Berbatov scored a mesmerising hat-trick against Liverpool on the 19th of September 2010 and single-handedly took United across the finish line in a thrilling 3-2 win. The first goal was a header from a Ryan Giggs corner, but the second goal was special. Nani freed up some space and found Berbatov in the middle with a cross. Berbatov took the ball on his thigh, displaying some of the magic of his graceful first touch, and blasted a bicycle kick into the top right corner. Everyone was on their feet, cheering the Bulgarian magician for an incredible display of skill. However, Liverpool came back from a 2-goal deficit to equalise. Berbatov had other ideas, and he scored with another impressive header from O'Shea's cross. This was the peak of his career. He went on from there to score 5 goals in an overwhelming 7-1 win over Blackburn Rovers, tying the league record, and joined the ranks of players like Alan Shearer, Andrew Cole and Jermaine Defoe. Berbatov continued to score goal after goal and produce moments of brilliance. He was the joint winner of Premier League's Golden Boot Award for the season 2010-11 with Carlos Tevez with 20 goals. From there on out though, things started going downhill for Berbatov. He was dropped from the Champions League final squad against Barcelona, and then, at the start of the 2011-12 season, he was told by Sir Alex that he won't be starting every game in the coming season. Despite lack of opportunities, he continued to score vital goals and netted 9 times in 21 games. However, he knew deep inside that it was time to move. Fiorentina and Juventus were both on a chase for him, but he chose to stay in the Premier League and joined Fulham instead. Berbatov scored 56 goals in 149 appearances for Manchester United, the last dance. Berbatov stayed with Fulham for 2 seasons, scoring 19 goals in 51 games. After that, he moved to Monaco and played 1 season there, scoring 13 goals in 38 games. Finally, he ended his career after spending 1 season each in Greece with POAK and India with Kerala Blasters. Years later, when Berbatov was asked if he considered the hat-trick against Liverpool to be the highlight reel of his career, he admitted that it was up there with the best. But to him, setting up goals for his teammates was more satisfying than actually scoring them. He was always thinking a few steps ahead of others and was not your run-of-the-mill striker. Berbatov was never selfish in his play. If someone was open, he was sure to give them the ball. Often he would drop down asking for the ball and participate in the build-up play. He was often subjected to criticism for his relaxed style of play, which people mistook for laziness, but it was just his way of being more mentally involved in the game than anyone else, waiting for the right moment to draw the first blood. With that, we come to the end of today's video. Which player do you want next to be featured in our Legendary Players series? Let us know in the comments section. Like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.